All right, I'm not going to wait any longer. Let's do this. Let's do this. This was not the plan today. I considered streaming a bit today. Just decided not to. Like I said, I already put the video out this morning, streamed late last night. Very tired today, but once this happened, I didn't have a choice, right? Like, I didn't expect this to happen today. The deadline had always been the 4th of July, and I expected maybe like Monday or Tuesday, but this evening, this was not something that I expected to happen. Oh, wow. This is why this stuff is awesome. Like, there's no other sport where the whole league can change so quickly in one tweet, in one move. And that's where we are. So apparently, I don't know. Some people are saying it's a 3+1. Some people are saying it's a straight up 4. I haven't seen the details. I would imagine it's a 3+1. I don't know what you guys have seen. Happy birthday, Doc. I meant to tweet at you earlier, bud. Happy birthday. Yeah. I'm looking on Twitter right now. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm looking on Twitter to see if it's a 3+1 or not. I would imagine it is. And so the other thing, obviously, is with how calculated Bron is with basically everything, you would imagine that this means he has someone in mind that's coming with him, as you guys have been talking about in chat while we've been waiting. Whether it's Boogie or whether it's Kawhi, whether it's somebody, there's no way he jumps on board if he thinks, that the guys he's going to be playing with are going to be Kuzma and Ingram and Ball. Like, he definitely has other people in mind. He's definitely going to have people join him, I would imagine. Like I said, there's no way he jumps on board this quickly if he doesn't think there's someone coming with him. Sham says a 3+1. Okay. Like, I don't know if anything's going to happen this evening. I don't know if, like, Boogie or anybody or is going to, commit, or Kawhi's going to be traded or anything. But he's got to have someone else in mind, as you guys have been saying in chat. KD to the Lakers in 2020. Confirmed. Yeah, Eric said I spilled all my nerds when he signed. I was just laying down for a little bit. Like I said, I didn't go to sleep until like 5 a.m. this morning, my time. So I was just laying down for a little bit, relaxing, and obviously I've got tweet notifications on for the watch bombs, and I hopped in the shower, and here we are. That's crazy. Like, I expected this to happen. Yeah, Rex, exactly. I expected this to happen. I expected him to be in LA. You can check the Free Agent Friday video. I expected him to be there. But, yeah, so contract details. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt my own sentence. It's a $35 million, $37 million, $39 million, and then $41 million in the 4th year as a player option. So it's a 3+1. Anyway, this is the team I expected him to sign with, but I did not expect it to happen today. I expected it tomorrow, the next day, maybe even on the 4th of July itself. So this is definitely a big, big surprise, but not unexpected in terms of the place, just more so the timing than anything else. Yeah, there's no way that there's not someone else coming. People are talking about they have to trade for Kawhi. It's got to happen. Either that or Boogie. It's just weird. It's just weird that, like, there was a meeting set up with Philly today. Obviously, Bron wasn't there, but it's just weird there was a meeting set up with Philly today and on the same day that he's going to commit to the Lakers. But, there have been tweets and reports that he already had decided before today that he had already decided, and he was just waiting to make his announcement. And apparently that was true. I think it was actually Nick Wright that tweeted that he had already decided and he was going to announce like Tuesday or something. I did see Capella had a meeting with him today, and he also tweeted something today. Clint Capella did. Michael, I appreciate the 2, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Again, guys, donations are not expected, but if that's something you want to do to make sure that I see what you're typing or to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I honestly thought, Bob says, I thought he was reconsidering Philly. I kind of thought the same thing, because once Paul George didn't commit, I just always assumed that Bron was going to be the second guy, that someone else was going to commit first, and then Bron was going to come on board, whether it be a Kawhi trade or PG signing or Boogie signing. So when he was meeting with Philly and after PG announced his decision last night, I was thinking, okay, maybe Philly's back in this. Like, they kind of fell off after the Colangelo Burner stuff, but they at least got in a room with his reps today, and I was like, okay, maybe it's Cleveland and Philly instead of Cleveland and LA. And this whole time apparently it's been LA. From Italy, it's 2:33 a.m. and you're shocked. Yeah, this is a much easier time for me to stream this evening than it was last. It's 8:30 where I am as opposed to 5 a.m. the other day. Yeah, another guy's got to be on the way for sure. I don't know, like, so Clickbait's talking about, Philly is apparently trying to trade for Kawhi as well. That's still a possibility. I've been seeing reports that they're pretty confident that they can bring him back in 2019, but now I'm seeing all these things that Kawhi is just dead set on being a Laker, and there's nothing that's going to change his mind. My phone's going crazy. I'm honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see something else happen this evening with the Lakers. But just imagine, I'm not a Lakers fan. I don't know if any of you guys are, but imagine the roller coaster of being a Lakers fan the last 12 hours, basically. No, the last like 18 hours, where you were kind of thinking for the last couple of years that you were going to have PG, and then all of a sudden PG's just like, no, I'm not coming. But now you have LeBron. That's just such a roller coaster. People from Greece, big shout out from Greece. Yeah, much faster. I mean, we had heard all these things about he wasn't going to go on all these recruiting meetings and it was going to be a quicker decision. But it almost seems like this has been the decision all along, right? Like, it almost seems like he never even thought about it, deliberated. Like, it was just always going to be the Lakers. The 4-year commitment Jeff's talking about, so it's a 3+1. So if you're talking about a full commitment, it's technically 3 years. But I was surprised about that as well, because for the most part, Bron's been a 2-2 or a 1-1 guy. And especially going to a new team, I would have expected it to probably be something along those lines as well. But it turned out to be a 3+1, and apparently he's in it for a pretty long haul. And like I said, this always kind of seemed like it was going to be the fit, but it's just interesting to me that it happened so quickly. Yeah, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. Hoop Central just tweeted the Eastern Conference is now essentially the G League. I mean, it's Boston and Philly now in the East, depending on who each of those teams get. Doesn't he always do 3+1? I thought in the past, well, KD does 1-1s. I thought in the past Bron had done 2-1s or 2-2s. That's just me, though. I'm interested to see who else will be there with him now. Big shout out from Belgium. Appreciate it. No one's stopping Boston. I think Philly has a chance. I would definitely say Boston's the favorites in the East. But I still think Philly has a chance, though. We need that 1-16 format. I mean, think about the hierarchy of the league, right? So if you're talking about a healthy Kawhi Leonard, he's probably a top 5 player in the league when healthy. You could even argue top 3. But you're talking about Steph, KD, Bron, and Kawhi all being in the same conference, and then you've got Chris Paul and James Harden as well, wherever you rank them. I mean, how far down the list do you go in terms of the best players in the league before you get to someone that plays in the Eastern Conference? Like, who's, in y'all's opinion, who's the best player in the East right now? So how far down the list do you have to go before you get to someone in the East? I don't know. Because Boston is obviously, they have some stars, but they're also just, a great team together. And then Philly's just young still. So how far down the list of the best players in the league do you have to go before you get to someone in the East? Giannis? Okay. What's Giannis's highest seed in the postseason so far? 6 or 7? So Kawhi to LA next. I would imagine that's coming. Kyrie, okay. Yeah, I mean, you could argue a couple of guys, but my point is, you're getting at least, if Kawhi is healthy, you're getting at least 4, probably 5 players deep in terms of the best players in the league being all in the same conference, because then you have AD as well if you want to count him. So you're getting, basically, if Kawhi is healthy, the top 5 players in the league are all in the same conference. But the thing to me that always kind of made me reconsider that Bron might not end up in LA is once they won the East, and I thought maybe Philly or the Cavs would have an edge because he would have a better chance of keeping the final streak alive in the East, obviously, than he would in the West, playing whoever, the Rockets, the Warriors, however it ends up shaking out. And so now that's definitely a consideration, that the finals streak could be in jeopardy depending on who they put around him. Obviously, if they end up getting Boogie or Kawhi, they could potentially end up with both of those guys. Then maybe they do end up making the finals. But the final streak, 8 consecutive, which you could argue is his greatest accomplishment as a pro in terms of his entire career, could be in jeopardy by virtue of going to the West and having to play those teams before the finals. I just keep refreshing Twitter. Yeah, Mike, he says, yeah, what's up, DJ? Mike says, I would just hate to see like 11 Western teams in the playoffs and only 5 teams from the East. Yeah, it would be an adjustment. They would definitely have to figure some things out if they wanted to go 1 through 16, which is something we've talked about. They'd have to make sure that the scheduling is still even, because obviously the point of it would be, all the teams in the West are better than the teams in the East, so you don't want to have them beating up on each other and have a lower record as a result. You'd have to even out the scheduling, but I mean, that could be something you have to seriously consider now with all of these players being in the West. Yeah, I'm just clicking. I have it pulled up right next to OBS, and I just keep refreshing Twitter. What's up, Spencer? How you doing, bud? So we're now 2 for 2. So I never did a Free Agent Friday video on Paul George, and had I done one, I probably would have been wrong because I would have predicted LA. But DeAndre Jordan, I predicted the Mavs, and Bron, I predicted the Lakers. Who else did I do a Free Agent Friday video on? I honestly can't remember, but I know I'm 2 for 2 there. So, but the thing is, I mean, obviously we have our favorites in the East, and there's none of those teams in the East are done making moves by far. Boston still has to get Marcus Smart back. Philly has cap space to get whoever they can get. Toronto could still make some moves. So the East, as much as we want to say Boston's the favorite, Philly's the favorite, this is how the East is going to go, we really have no idea because we haven't had an Eastern Conference postseason without LeBron James in it in Lord knows how long, or ever, obviously. But the point of it is, all these teams, for the most part, their Achilles heel has been Bron, and they haven't been able to get to the finals or deeper into the playoffs because of Bron. And how does that change now? I mean, we want to say Boston's the favorite, Philly's the favorite, but some people are mentioning Toronto. Maybe that's all they needed, like we talked about this offseason, is they just needed Bron to get out of the East. And obviously there are other moves they could make to try and improve their team, but maybe this is the biggest move that could have happened for a team like Toronto to potentially be at least in the conference finals and maybe even the finals. The East is 100% wide open just because Bron's not there. You can obviously say Boston's the best team, Philly's the best team. You could probably make a case that Toronto's up there as well, maybe Indiana. But we just don't know. We don't know what it's like for teams that aren't playing LeBron James. We just never seen it. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm so you guys make the point with the Celtics are still the favorite. I agree. Like, the Celtics are the favorites in the East, but my point is that it's a little bit difficult to project a Eastern Conference postseason without LeBron James because we haven't seen it in so long. And obviously none of these current teams have ever had an Eastern Conference postseason without LeBron. So how is all that going to work? Yeah, so the other side of this that I haven't even thought about is where the Cavs are now. So obviously they just drafted Colin Sexton. Is a Kevin Love trade going to be in the works? Are they going to start moving guys? Are they still just going to try and make the postseason and run it back with this group and add Colin Sexton to it and hope to be, a late seed in the East postseason? I don't know. It'll depend. So KCP just signed a 1-year, $12 million deal to remain with the Lakers as well. I just read on Twitter. So KCP's coming back. So they've got to be trading for Kawhi because they're using their space. Like, they can't sign Boogie outright unless it's a sign and trade, obviously. But it's got to be Kawhi. It's got to be Kawhi because they're using up their cap space. Jose, I've got everybody on Twitter, my dude. I've got it pulled up right now. I've got everybody. It's got to be Kawhi. Like, that has to be the plan. That has to be part of the pitch. So the Lakers told Bron that they're going to do everything they can to get Kawhi. No. I have it right here. Hoop Central via Shams. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 1 year, $12 million deal. So maybe they're waiting until 2019 to get Kawhi because it's a 1 year deal. I have no idea. DJ said, how are Kobe fans like me going to coexist with Bron fans? It's a good question. It's going to be tough. Yep, there it is. KCP back to the Lakers. Apparently Bron just put something on his Instagram story. LeBron shows appreciation to Cavs fans on his IG story. I'm going to check it out. I apologize again. Just like last night, normally I would not look at my phone this much, but there's stuff going on. Yeah, he just posted a picture just saying thanking Cleveland, thanking the city, thanking the fans on his Instagram story. Howard back to the Lakers? I doubt it. That went so poorly. There's no way that he's going to end up being a Laker. I doubt it. But that's the other thing. So they got KCP, so that's 12. They had 50, I think. Bronze is 35. Quick math. It's basically all of their space. So who's going to be the 5-man? Who's going to, how are they going to surround him with players if it's not a Kawhi trade? I mean, they could obviously bring back Brook Lopez if they wanted. They can re-sign their own guys and go over the cap, but interesting. It's crazy after all the conversation about where this was going to go, and after all the speculation, all the content that's been made about this, it's just all of a sudden just one tweet and it's happened. Like he's just made his decision. No, Lopez isn't bad. So someone's telling me they have enough for another max. So I'll pull it up right now. But I mean, Bronze is what, 35. KCP is 12. That's 47. I thought they had 50. I can check. Hold on. I'm almost positive they had 50. Okay, I'm wrong. They had 40. Okay. So 40 plus 35 is 75 plus another 12. Can I do math? 87. Okay, so they have 23, or 26 really. They have about 26, 25, 26 left, which could be enough for Boogie if he wants to be there. Unless they stretch Luol Dengs. Obviously, there's moves they can make. I'm talking about right now. They have right about 25, 26. Yeah, I know KCP is a 1 year deal. I just saw it. Any Lakers fans in the chat or no? Doc breaking the real news here about Nerlens Noel. Well, I think the KCP thing was just they need guys that can guard and shoot, and KCP's not like a huge difference maker, not a superstar or anything, but they're going to need guys to surround Bron and Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, assuming a Kawhi trade, is not in the works. But I'm sure there are going to be guys now that are going to want to hop on board to this. Laker Nation. Okay, DJ. What a man. I couldn't imagine what that would be like as a fan. Just to have your entire team just turned upside down in one tweet. That's nuts. Jalen says I just became a Lakers fan like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, so some people are saying I think it was about more than basketball. There's obviously off the court stuff involved in this decision, right? I mean, his family lives there during the summer, all that kind of stuff. But he's not going to go there if he doesn't think they have any chance of winning a championship. Like, no matter how much the family stuff and the off the court stuff matters to him, it doesn't mean that he's just going to say, okay, it doesn't matter if we win championship. It still obviously matters to him, as it should. So there's got to be something else in the works. I'm going to keep saying it. There has to be something else. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. So again, yeah, it's a family decision. I understand that, but he's not just going to go there just to have his family be happy and, win 50 games or 55 games and not make the finals. LeBron Jr. confirmed to Lakers. Imagine if that's part of the deal. He was like, so I'm reading stuff. So apparently it sounds like Brook Lopez is going to come back, which means that Boogie is probably not going to be a Laker. It has to be a Kawhi trade. The only other thing I could think, because KCP is a one-year deal, and I would imagine Brook Lopez's might be as well, is they're just going to wait on Kawhi for 2019 and try and sign him then. Obviously, because they didn't spend max space on PG, so they'll have max space again next summer. Maybe they could just wait on Kawhi and keep all those young guys and not have to give up picks and move on from there. But I can't imagine that was the pitch that convinced Bron. I can't imagine that it's not a trade, that they're going to have to wait until 2019. I can't imagine that. Yeah, I did see the Clint Capella stuff. He tweeted just like a random emoji as well earlier today. But so buying out Deng doesn't just like automatically make the cap go away. Like, it still affects the cap. Guys, I appreciate all the subs. Thank you. Earlier in stream, we just absolutely demolished the all-time viewership record on the channel. We're up over 500 right now. So thank you guys for being here, and I thank you for all the subs as well while you're here. Thank you. And again, thank you to Michael for the 2. Much appreciated, my dude. Interesting. Rex says, trade Wall to the Lakers for Ball, Kuzma, and a first-rounder. Interesting. I wouldn't be shocked to see them try to trade for anyone. Like I said, I mean, the Kawhi thing is what we've always talked about, but it's not unheard of for these out of nowhere trades to happen when LeBron joins a team. So I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, the thing is, if you're the Spurs though in this situation, you know that the Lakers are the most motivated team in the league to try and trade for Kawhi, because everybody else was trying to pair those two guys together. They were trying to pair Kawhi and Bron together, whether it be Philly or whoever. And so now that the Lakers actually have Bron, they know that they have a ton of leverage, and it's just going to test the Lakers' patience whether they want to wait till 2019 or not. Because in 2019, if Kawhi Leonard is not a Laker, I would be absolutely shocked, whether it's because he's re-signing as a result of being traded this summer or just outright signing next summer. He's going to end up being a Laker in 2019. Whether it's newly a Laker, or he's already a Laker before that. It just depends on whether they have the patience to wait to 2019 or they're going to trade for him now. I don't know. I did see that, Rex, yeah. Very close to 24K, guys. They do still have IT available to re-sign as well. Nerlens Noel would be interesting. The Spurs asked the Sixers for 3 future first-round picks and 2 of their current players in exchange for Leonard. 2 players were not revealed. Interesting. It's the only team I could really see coming out of left field with this is Philly. Bob, I appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. Kemba could be interesting. Again, once you... it's just crazy, but once you get LeBron, everything just changes, and you're in on any number of players potentially to just try and build as good of a team around him as you possibly can. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. Dame time in LA. Interesting. Yeah, it's crazy to me that because Paul George and Bron had to have had conversations, and if because this happened so quickly, the conversations had to have been, "Hey, let's go to LA together." And PG turned that down to go back to OKC, and it's not any offense to any OKC fans or anything like that, or to the Thunder organization. I'm just very surprised that PG turned down the opportunity to potentially, and apparently very likely, play with Bron in LA, and then maybe even have Kawhi there with him as well. It's a team that he's been rumored to want to be on for a long time and go back home to, and I'm just very, very surprised. Isn't it crazy though? Like the difference in perception from when he left this time to when he left the last time, partly because we were expecting him to leave so much more this time, and also the landscape of the league and the perception of players that leave around the league has changed so much now because it's so much more common. I mean, when he left in 2010, that wasn't a comment at all, and everybody just destroyed him for it, and now it's just like, okay, I mean, we were expecting a decision, now we have it, and it's not like everybody's freaking out or calling him a snake or whatever. It's just, I mean, some people are obviously, but I mean, it's not as widespread of an opinion to say that it was, awful for him to do this. It was just expected. It's just crazy how much the league has changed in since 2010. 4 years, $154 million. No, I don't think so. Someone asked, do you think that LeBron could back out if the Lakers don't trade for Kawhi by July 6th when he actually officially signs? So obviously this is like the moratorium period, and they don't actually put pen to paper. They just verbally agree. No, I don't think that's the case. I think he's committed, and I think it would just be so damaging to his public perception for him to commit publicly and then back out on it later. There's so many different guys that could end up being Lakers now. I mean, people were talking about Dame, Kemba, Boogie, Kawhi. Rex mentioned John Wall. Like, there's so many guys that I wouldn't put it past the Lakers to try and get to help Bron. Again, guys, thank you so much for the subs. We're only 52 away from 24K. I thank you guys so much. No, I think all the Kawhi to Boston stuff has calmed down a little bit. I think it's going to be Kawhi to LA, maybe Philly, but Kawhi to LA either via trade or 2019. Kemba to Lakers isn't bad. No, I mean, obviously Lonzo's there, but both those guys can. I mean, Kemba can shoot. Lonzo should be able to learn to shoot a little bit better. The original source, I got a tweet notification from Waj that that Clutch Sports, LeBron's agency, announced it. I think the Spurs are definitely going to trade Kawhi. Someone said the Spurs won't trade him. I think they've accepted it. I think they've accepted he doesn't want to wear a Spurs uniform anymore, and it's going to happen. Yeah, every team in the East is super happy right now. Could pick up Tyreke Evans. I've heard some Tyreke Evans to Golden State stuff. I've seen a lot of things about Tyreke Evans potentially joining a really good team, right, and being a really good piece to the puzzle. Maybe again in that 5 to 8 mid-level exception range. Sad day for Cavs fans, but I mean, maybe you got your hopes up a little bit after PG didn't go to the Lakers. Maybe you really thought Bron was going to come back, and I wouldn't blame you for that. But the expectations had to have been lower this time in terms of his chances of returning than it was in 2010, right? I mean, it just had to be. If I was a Cavs fan, I'm not saying I would have accepted that he was going to leave, but I would have begun to prepare for it this time a lot more than I would have in 2010. Appreciate it, Colby, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate the love. Yeah, that's another thing is, had Bron come home and never won the championship in 2016, I think maybe there would be more resentment because it's like he's leaving something unfinished, right? There's unfinished business. But now it kind of seems like he kind of accomplished what he said he was going to set out to accomplish when he originally committed to Cleveland. And obviously Cleveland fans would have loved to have him back, and they're upset that he's leaving. But on the other hand, as some people are saying in the comments, I mean, he did bring them a championship. He broke that drought, and that's something that is an incredible accomplishment, and something that fans in Cleveland are going to cherish forever, whether, Bron's a Laker or not. So maybe that makes it a little bit easier to say goodbye. Obviously, he's the best player in the league. You don't want him to leave your team, but he at least did what he set out to do and what he said he was going to try to do. Need Lonzo out of town ASAP. I don't know, man. Like, if that was an issue for Bron, he wouldn't have committed. Or he would have had some sort of stipulation that Lonzo didn't need to be there. Clearly, they worked that out and figured that out to where Lonzo and the Ball family and all that stuff is not an issue. Yeah, I saw that they're probably going to re-sign Brooke. I did see the KCP signing, yeah. We'll see how it goes, man. Like, the thing is, let's say that they don't trade for Kawhi. Let's say they wait for him for 2019. This team, with Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, KCP, potentially Brook Lopez, Josh Hart, like, they have some good players. So even if they don't trade for Kawhi this summer, I mean, how many games do you think that team can win? I mean, I think that team with Bron on it obviously is a playoff team. So maybe that's the plan. Maybe they're going to slow play this, try and get Kawhi, and then that's when they really make their move in 2019, when maybe the Warriors could be falling apart a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the plan, is to slow play it a little bit and keep their young guys, add Kawhi to the mix next summer, and move from there. I would say, I mean, when's the last time a LeBron-led team did not win 50 games? Let's check. I mean, obviously they were in the East, but I'm just saying. I'm trying to find out. I don't know. I can't find it. But when's the last time a LeBron James-led team did not win 50 games? Yeah, Rex, if that's part of the expectation when Bron signed, that he understood that it was going to be a patient play where they're going to wait to just sign Kawhi in 2019, not trade these guys away, and count on that development along with Kawhi, along with Bron. As long as that's part of the commitment, it's understood. I like the patient play where you wait until 2019 to sign Kawhi. However, that might not be the case. Like, he might have signed with the understanding that they're going to get someone else to play with him now. And given what we know about LeBron in the past. Okay, so 2008 was when he didn't win 50. Thank you. Appreciate that. It was like when he went to Cleveland, he didn't want to play with Andrew Wiggins. He wanted a more proven guy. They went and got Kevin Love. So that makes me question whether or not they're actually going to slow play this and be patient until 2019. But it definitely still could happen. And in all honesty, if it's understood that that's what they're going to do, then it'd probably be the smarter move. That's true. That's a good point. Rex says, I think he signed long-term so other free agents knew that he'd be around for a bit. That's a really good point. You want to know if he signed like a 1-1 or a 2-2 or a 2-1, maybe free agents would be questioning that because they're going to be signing long-term deals and they want to know that Bron's going to be there the whole time, because that's probably, obviously, along with playing in LA, being a Laker, the other big draw to them is obviously going to be playing with Bron and competing for championships. So it's a great point that it is a 3+1 and it's a little bit longer of a commitment so that these other free agents know. Okay, so in a non-lockout season is what I meant, Raphael, but I appreciate that. Doc, I still haven't watched any of the World Cup. No, but I didn't see it. Yeah, but the thing is, so Dana says, if I'm LA, I'm going for Capella over Cousins. I can't trust a torn Achilles. The problem is, I would imagine the Rockets are going to match anything reasonable for Clint Capella. And so right now, I counted up earlier. I think the Lakers have like 25, 26 million left after the KCP and Bron signings. So that's about the most that they could offer Clint Capella is 25, 26 a year. And I would imagine the Rockets, in all honesty, would probably match that because they're already going to be spending a ton of money. They might as well spend a ton of money and at least be a contender. So that's the mindset behind going for Boogie as opposed to Clint Capella because he's an unrestricted free agent. I keep refreshing Twitter, seeing if anything else is going to come up. I'm dead. Someone tweeted, said, LeBron making the Cavs trade for Clarkson and Nance to get their contracts out of LA is an all-time chess move. I didn't forget, but it just wasn't something I thought about, that the Cavs and Lakers like made that trade mid-season and now LeBron is a Laker. That's so funny. Julius Randle. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Julius Randle too. Thing is though, if there, that'll be the telling thing is about Kawhi is if they re-sign Julius Randle to a big deal, then that limits their cap space next season is what I'm thinking in my mind because then Brown would be there, then Julius Randle, so that would be a telling thing. I forgot about Julius Randle too. Obviously, they could re-sign him once they trade for Kawhi. They can re-sign him with bird rights and everything else. I completely forgot about Julius Randle. Who's the past their prime shooter Brown will bring to LA? People were bringing up the other day, they're like, oh, Ray Allen's going to unretire, all that stuff. I mean, I think Wayne Ellington could be in play. He's not past his prime. But, I mean, if you're talking about some of the older guys he generally brings in, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. If you're Cleveland, do you trade Kevin Love or keep him? I don't know what I would do necessarily because I don't know what I would be able to get for Kevin Love, and that's obviously is a big determining factor. But I would imagine they're gonna try and make the postseason. But just think about this, man. As a Cavs fan, I mean, this is 2 years ago, so 24 months ago. You're celebrating the first championship in Cleveland, and Lord knows how long. Kyrie's on the roster, Bron's on the roster, everybody's celebrating. J.R. Smith is walking around with his shirt off for 48 hours consecutively. And now here we are 24 months later, and Kyrie's not on the roster, Bron's gone, and Kevin Love's probably the best player you have. That's a pretty big fall. But they did get a championship out of it, so I'm sure they're not complaining. Too much, at least. Portland has agreed to a 1-year, $6.5 million deal with Mario Hezonja. Interesting. That's pretty cheap, honestly. Portland has Nick Stauskas and Mario Hezonja. Yeah, I just saw it, Jared. There's a little bit of a stream delay, so that's probably the only reason I didn't see it first. How long do you think it'll be before we see Bron and Kobe in some meeting together talking about what it means to be a Laker or something? How long do you think it'll be before we see them together in public? Yeah, the Hezonja thing's interesting. I honestly thought he would get more than that. Or at least maybe a little bit longer term. Yeah, it's tough for Magic fans. Kobe jealous of LeBron. Yeah, Kobe's going to come out of retirement, y'all. You didn't hear? Oh my gosh. Y'all, did you see? So apparently this was wrong. Hezonja is going to New York. Watch just corrected himself on Twitter. That's crazy. I've never seen him tweet incorrectly. New York has agreed to a deal with Hezonja 1 year 6.5. Rex, I'd rather not. If it pops up and it says, you know, someone's cursing, I would rather it not be. I appreciate you asking. Just because I don't curse in streams or videos, so I'd rather chat be clean as well. Yeah, I just saw the correction. That's crazy. I've never seen him mess up a tweet. Zach Lowe tweeted, huge day for Croatia. Funky just tweeted it. Watch, he said, a rare misstep for the god. That's funny. I don't think Dwight's not going to go to LA. Like, you just got to understand how badly that went the first time and how uncomfortable that whole situation was. I don't think Dwight's going to end up in LA, no. I did hear, or read, I guess, that apparently the Wizards are not in on Boogie anymore. It's kind of a long shot, but apparently Alex Len is kind of the future 5-man for the Wizards, is what they're hoping. Sorry, Rex. That's what I read, dude. And the funny thing is, like, they traded Gortat, and John Wall made these comments about they need better big men. They need more athletic big men, specifically, and I don't think Alex Len necessarily qualifies. I don't think he's a bad player, necessarily, but I don't know that that's what Wizards fans like yourself are hoping for. Not Zay just tweeted, everyone tweeting about Braun, and I'm crying about Mario Hezonja. Future 5-man for the Wizards, Noel, Doc. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm interested to see where Nerlens Noel ends up. Obviously, it's not going to be Dallas. So, someone says, should Cavs fans be annoyed at LeBron since he had a huge say in the Cavs re-signing J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson to huge deals, and now they have huge contracts? No, because he didn't make them do it. You know, LeBron didn't negotiate the deals. The Cavaliers did. They could have told, if they wanted to, they could have told LeBron, no, we're going to run our organization how we want to, and we're going to sign guys to the contracts we want to. Obviously, that would have made Bron angry, and that would be consequences to that. But you can't blame LeBron for those contracts because the Cavaliers were submissive in accepting those contract demands. It's not like you can just completely say that it wasn't the Cavs' fault if you're saying they're bad contracts, which is a fair point. You can't just say that it is all LeBron's fault just because he was in on the negotiations or whatever. Cavs could have said no. Again, there would be repercussions to that in terms of LeBron being unhappy, but I think the Bucks will try and sign Noel. Didn't they already use their full mid-level on Ilyasova yesterday? I don't think they can they? They're definitely over the cap. Yeah, I mean, that Cavs team is still probably a postseason team in the East. I don't know where Dwight's going to go. I really have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Washington. It's just been so quiet on him. It's so hard to tell. No problem, bud. Bucks have Ilyasova, traded him, now they have him back. I just remember as a Nets fan, every single time the Nets played the Bucks in Ilyasova's first run with Milwaukee, he had like the game of his life. He had like 20 games on the Nets, like consistently. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, bud? I can't deal with NBA Twitter sometimes, y'all. Bleacher Report tweeted, he said, They said the exact moment Bron decided to bounce, and it's the picture of J.R. Smith running the other direction because he didn't know the score. All right, what is Waj saying? The Knicks are designed to close out a tough recruitment, which several teams, including Portland, Sacramento, Memphis, competed for a 5th overall pick for 2015 draft. Trying to coach David Fizdale. Okay, I got you. I'm doing good, Dynamo. Thanks for asking, bud. Yeah, Iman, we're getting there. Close to 24K. Close. I don't know if we'll hit it tonight, but tomorrow probably. Kobe just tweeted at Bron. Boogie goes back to Sacramento. I doubt it. Boogie's going to LA or New Orleans. It's an interesting point. Someone else brought that up earlier. I would imagine there are a lot of Lakers fans that are not huge fans of LeBron because of the Kobe Bron debate and all that. But, I mean, you're going to be a fan of LeBron now that he's on your team, right? Yeah, I just saw Skylar. It was New York. Watch, tweeted the wrong thing. Is this right? Someone just tweeted this list at me. I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't looked at this myself, but the tweet says, active players who've made an All-NBA first team by current conference. By current conference in the West. These are all the players that have made an All-NBA first team. It is LeBron, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Steph, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Chris Paul, Russ, DeAndre Jordan, Marc Gasol, Dirk, and Derrick Rose. All those players are in the West. Players in the East that are active and have made an All-NBA first team is Joakim Noah. That's the only one. That's crazy. Wow. I just got a notification as well that apparently Bron decided this days ago, which makes sense. Makes sense. Because it's happened so quickly. Isn't that crazy? Joakim Noah is the only active player in the East that's ever made an All-NBA first team. That's nuts. I get you, Paragon. I understand what you mean. Are there any other moves that we didn't talk about last night that happened in between last night and today? Not much. Everything just kind of happened all at once at midnight last night and into the morning here. No, yeah, Skins, I'm not saying anything bad about Joakim Noah. I'm just saying it's crazy that he is the only player of all players to be in the East and have been the only one that made an All-NBA first team. No, I don't think there's any way IT ends up being a Laker now because of the awkward situations that occurred there in Cleveland between Isaiah and LeBron. I don't know that it's necessarily a ton of resentment, but it's just going to be awkward and uncomfortable. I would imagine the Lakers are not interested in bringing Isaiah Thomas back. That's just me. Yeah, so that was the other one. So there was a TBD for Dwight and Dwayne Wade, but that's just because Dwayne's a free agent, as is Dwight. So it's TBD because they're not currently signed to a team in the East. First team All-NBA guys. I still haven't seen anything about Jabari Parker. I read some stuff today that the Lakers might be in on him. But that's about it. Lakers should have picked up Hazanya over KCP. I like Hazanya. I mean, if Bron signs, you need guys that are proven, and KCP has proven more in the league than Hazanya has so far. Van Fleet, thank you, Kalon. Appreciate it. Van Fleet signed 2 years, 18 with the Raptors. One, that's a little bit shorter than I'd anticipated, and two, he probably could have gotten more than that somewhere else, honestly. So that's a great move that the Raptors were able to bring him back so quickly. Is Mitchell, are you in stream? Mitchell's tweeting this at me, or you just... He might not be, but you're tweeting some really good stuff. He sent me this thing, says, LeBron will now be coached by Luke Walton, who was drafted 31 picks after him in 2003. They're in the same draft class. Mario Lasagna. Mitchell, I appreciate it, bud. Thank you for being in stream, and those two things you sent me are really, really interesting. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're going to go to like 9:30. I just wanted to hop on really quick. I've got some stuff to do this evening. I'm trying to get a video out for tomorrow, but obviously I just wanted to hop on really quick and talk about Bron. So I'm going to go to like 9:30, like 10 more minutes. Adir, I appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. It must be good to be an LA fan today, my dude. Appreciate the follows on Twitter as well, guys. Some of you guys are coming through on Twitter. I appreciate it. That's right, Rex. I got work to do. Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot about the biggest move of the day. The Mavs re-signing Salah Mejri. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I know who he is. Apparently, Dirk's going to come back on like a $5 million deal as well. Updated title odds with Bron. Bola, appreciate the sub, man. Thank you. Jordan said if LeBron joins, he's becoming a fan of the Raptors. I feel bad for him. All right, updated title odds. Lakers are 7-2. Warriors 10-11. Rockets 7-1. Celtics 7-2. OKC 60-1. Interesting. Yeah, a couple of people are tweeting, this is how Cleveland fans should feel right now, just being thankful that LeBron fulfilled his promise to bring them a title. And I would completely understand if they're upset that he left, obviously, but they did get a title out of it, and I don't know that there's anybody else in the league that would have been able to bring that to them. Juan, I saw that as well, that the reason they re-signed him is because him and Doncic were former teammates. I did see that. Okay. Some people are tweeting that Chris Bosh could potentially return. He's still seeking to play in the NBA, potentially with the Lakers. Obviously, he's got the whole health situation that he had to deal with. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I wouldn't put too much into that, though, honestly. Banana boat. Yeah, man. I would be shocked, though. I wouldn't put too much into the whole Chris Bosh thing. I don't know, Mitchell. I honestly haven't read a ton into the Chris Bosh stuff. I wouldn't doubt that you're right about him being medically cleared, and it's just a liability issue for teams. But I mean, it's some serious stuff, man. Like, I don't think that any team's going to risk that, honestly. Yeah, Greg said Lakers are a 50-plus win team with LeBron. So obviously, LeBron's always played in the East, and you can make the argument it's always been easier. But I asked earlier, someone looked it up. The last time Bron didn't win 50 games in a non-lockout season was 2008. So, yeah, I saw the Hazania thing. Billy Bob, it was just, I expected him to go to the Lakers. I didn't expect it this quickly, though, is really my biggest takeaway. Yeah, sorry, Colin Sexton. Your draft night plead for LeBron to join you did not work, bud. We're going to go like 5 more minutes, guys. Any questions? Anything else you want to talk about? Hit me with them now. We're going to go like 5 more minutes. That's true. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs, y'all. There's no way they're not going to make the playoffs. I want to know the odds to win the West. Corey, thank you for the 2, man. Appreciate it. What's up, man? How you doing? Again, guys, donations not expected, but are encouraged. If you really want to make sure I see what you're typing or support the channel, I appreciate it. Again, thank you, Corey. Thank you for the 2. Joseph, normally I wouldn't be against staying until I get to 24, but I got some stuff to do tonight. I don't think it's going to happen this evening. Doc, I do appreciate the bit. Thank you. I didn't see it. Thank you, bud. I didn't see it till now. I don't know why that's coming through on YouTube, but I appreciate it anyway. Corey, appreciate it. Big shout out to Ireland, man. Appreciate the love from Ireland. Thank you. Joseph, maybe for 25, man. Maybe for 25 I'll stream it, depending on the time of day that I'm getting close. Maybe 25 we'll stream it. It's not a bad idea. All right, let's do one more good one. One more good one to talk about. Appreciate the love from Argentina. Thank you, man. Timeless, I'm not going to do that, bud. Sorry. You'd be my only viewer if I did that. Yeah, I think 25K is a bit bigger of a milestone. I think you're right, Doc. All right, I mean, we'll just wrap it up there, I guess, guys. I appreciate everybody that came out. I couldn't even keep track in the beginning how many viewers we got up to because it just completely took off. I really appreciate all you guys coming out. The subs, we've gained a ton of subs while on stream. Obviously, this one's a little bit shorter, only an hour. But with this happening, I didn't have a choice. I had to hop on stream. I had to talk about it with you guys. I really appreciate all the love, all the support, man. I can't thank you enough. We crossed like 800 viewers or something ridiculous in the beginning of this, and we've been up over 400, 500 the entire time. So every time we stream, it seems like things are growing, and I can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate it. All the subs keep going up now as well. Just thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys have a good night, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is for you guys. Again, I appreciate it, wherever you're watching at, and I hope to hop on stream some more here in the next couple of days because I'm sure there'll be more crazy things happening. So if Kawhi gets traded, I'll do the exact same thing. If I can, I'll hop on. We'll talk about some more stuff, I'm sure, as free agency unfolds. But again, just thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it.